Good evening, my excellent biology students. Hope you are doing fine and I hope you had a good day. So, before we begin with our live class, please let me know if I am audible enough. Please let me know if I'm audible enough. Okay. Good evening, Sandra. Good evening, Harold. Good evening, Esther. Good evening, Mary. Good evening, Frida. Good evening, Lynette. Good evening, Miss Helen. How are we doing tonight? How are we doing? I hope you had a wonderful day. I hope you had a good day. So before we begin with our live class, please let me know if I'm audible enough. Good evening, Eliana. Good evening, Matilda. Good evening, Esther. Okay, so I'm audible. Eliana has confirmed, and I hope everything is clear. You're not having any network issues. I hope today network is stable. Okay, otherwise on my end everything is okay. So yeah, just confirm. Only one person has confirmed if I'm audible. So yeah, I hope I'm audible. Okay, Esther has also confirmed. Wonderful, wonderful. So this is our final live class for this week. And this week we've been looking at the introduction of biology. We defined what biology is. We looked at the characteristics of living organisms. We looked at metabolic reactions, and yesterday we looked at cells, which is a plant cell and an animal cell. So today we're going to conclude with the introduction by looking at cell organization as well as cell specialization. So this is the final live class for this week, and I hope you've been learning. I hope you are studying, my excellent students. And yeah, that's what is needed. You just have to apply yourself to the group program. Okay, so make sure that you are available for the live classes. Make sure that you're going through the notes. Make sure that you're watching the tutorial videos, and make sure that you're doing the assignments. So today I sent the first assignment, which is based on paper 1. It is due tomorrow, so do the assignment, submit it tomorrow between 8 hours and 20 hours. So immediately it's 20 hours, I'm going to close the group. So make sure that you submit the work before 20 hours. Okay, so I think everything is okay. You are confirming that I'm audible enough, so I believe everything is okay. Okay, so I believe I can begin with this live class, right? Can we start? I can start. All right. Okay, so I've been told that I can start. Wonderful. So we're looking at cell specialization tonight, as well as cell organization. So we're going to start by looking at cell specialization. So new cells are formed from already existing cells by cell division in an organism. Okay, let's pause there. I want you to know this. There's a sperm cell and there's an ovum. A sperm cell is a male gamete. An ovum, that's a female gamete. These are sex cells. So a sperm cell is going to fertilize an ovum or an egg. Okay? And once that sperm cell fertilizes an ovum, a new cell is going to be formed. That new cell is known as a zygote. You and I, at some point, we were just that one single cell, which is known as a zygote. Now, that zygote started dividing. Cell division started taking place. So, a zygote divides by the process known as mitosis. So mitosis is simply a type of cell division where a cell divides into two new daughter cells which are exactly the same as the parent cell. So one cell would divide into two, it will form two new cells, and the two new cells which are formed, they are exactly the same as the initial cell, okay, which is dividing. I hope you're following. So these new cells, they're exactly the same. They're the same. So a single cell, which is a zygote, it will divide into two new cells known as daughter cells. And these two new cells, they are exactly the same as the zygote. The two new cells which have been formed, they will further divide as well by the process of mitosis. They will divide into two. Each will form two new cells. Therefore, we're going to have four cells. I hope you're following. So one cell, which is a zygote, divides into two. And the two new cells, they also divide into two. Therefore, we have four new cells. The four new cells, they divide, each divides into two. Then we're going to have how many? Eight. Eight new cells, they will divide into how many? 16. 16, 32. Just like that. And the number of cells is increasing. Okay? The cells are dividing. And they are exactly the same. The new cells which are being formed, they are exactly the same. So new cells are formed from already existing cells by cell division in an organism. I'll give another example. When you cut your hair, it grows back, isn't it? Because the cells are dividing. If you cut your skin, after some time, you will heal and your skin will be back to normal because the cells of the skin are dividing. But the point here is the new cells formed, they are the same. I want you to get note of, I want you to take note of that. They are the same. They are the same. So, at first, they are all similar in structure. At first, they are the same. The new cells are the same at first. I'll take you back to the zygote. So remember, I said a sperm cell will fertilize an ovum. Once that happens, a new cell is going to be formed. This new cell is known as a zygote. The new cell formed, it is known as a zygote. Now, this zygote would divide, okay? It will divide. It will divide into two new cells. Zygote, it will divide into two cells. The two new cells, each of them will divide into cells. We're going to cells. And these four cells are the same. The four cells will divide into 8 cells. The 8 cells will divide and they'll form 16 cells. 32. 32, 64. That's the process that we all went through. Now the question is, where did your hands come from? Where did your legs come from? Where did your heart come from? Where did your lungs come from? The kidney, the stomach, the small intestines, the eyes. Where did all these different parts come from? They came from this process known as cell specialization. Because the first thing was the same. But at some point, cells had to undergo the process of cell specialization. Okay. So they are all similar in structure. But in order to be separate, this is a process by which a cell undergoes specific changes in structure and chemical composition of the cytoplasm in order to perform specific function. Okay, so Eliana is saying that it's cutting. Am I audible? Am I clear? Someone tell me if I'm clear. Okay. Okay, not clear. Can you get me? Okay, are you able to hear me? So if I put the mic, I think it's cutting. So let me try again. Can you get me? Am I clear? Am I clear on your end before we continue? Wonderful, wonderful. Audrey has confirmed. Okay. So let me just repeat in case you didn't get the explanation that I gave. So let's read together. So new cells are formed from already existing cells by cell division in an organism. So I explained that at first a sperm cell, which is coming from a male, a sperm cell is a male gamete, okay, a sex cell from a male, and an ovum is a female gamete coming from a woman, okay. So a sperm cell will fertilize an ovum, and when that happens, a zygote is going to be formed. Now, this zygote, it is a single cell. You and I, we were once this single cell, just this single cell, okay, just this one single cell. So once a zygote has been formed, it will undergo cell division. It will divide by a process known as mitosis. Now, the question is, what is mitosis? So, mitosis is a type of cell division where a cell divides into two new daughter cells. And these two new daughter cells, they are exactly the same. Okay, they are genetically identical with the parent cell, which is the zygote in this case. So a zygote, it will divide into two new cells. And these two new cells, they are the same. Now, the two new cells will further divide by the same process of mitosis, and each will divide into two, meaning in total, we're going to have four new cells. And the four new cells, it's the same thing. They are genetically identical. So you and I, we went through that process in our mother's wombs. Now the question is, where did your hands come from? The skin, the eyes, the tongue, the heart, the lungs, the kidneys. Where did all these parts come from? And I said that they came from this process known as cell specialization. It is because of this process we have got different organs, which are made up of different kinds of cells. So at first, all cells are similar in structure, but in order to be suited for their functions, they have to undergo cell specialization. Okay? At first, they are all similar. The cells are the same, they look the same. But for them to perform their specific function, they have to undergo the process of what? Cell specialization. To specialize, it means you become specific for one thing, isn't it? So if you are doing maybe medicine and you want to specialize into something else, you are going to specialize. Maybe you'll be treating the heart, or maybe you'll be doing kaya ama surgery kumtima, be doing that. You have specialized. So you find that it's no longer general, you're now specific. Okay, you'll be dealing with one specific thing, or you'll be under one specific, area. So cells also undergo the process of cell specialization. So the question is, what is cell specialization? This is a process by which a cell undergoes specific changes in structure and in chemical composition of the cytoplasm in order to perform a specific function. So a cell will undergo chemical changes, will undergo some specific changes. Okay, it will change in structure, and it will also change in terms of chemical composition. And this is because it has to now perform a specific function. So once cells become specialized, we now see new things being produced, like muscle cells, skin cells, hair cells, liver cells, heart cells. Different cells are going to be produced as a result of cell specialization. We now see red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets. These are now as a result of cell specialization. Okay. So examples of specialized cells are ciliated cells, root hair cells, which are found in plants, xylem vessels, gut cells, nerve cells, muscle cells, white blood cells, and red blood cells. These are now the cells that are going to be formed as a result of cell specialization. So remember, initially the cells are all the same, but in order for them to perform their specific function, they have to, they have to undergo cell specialization. Okay. So initially, you and I, we were just one single cell. Kama wasicheka cell known as a zygote. Aka kaseo aka kanabaka pocha divide. It divided into two. The 2 new cells each divided into 2. The 4 new cells each divided into 2. The 8 new cells, they divided into what? 16. And all these cells were the same. They were just similar. But for you and I to have different organs, there's need for the cells that are making up these organs to be specialized. That is why cells have to undergo the process of cell specialization to form different parts of the body. Are you following, my excellent students? So please let me know if you're following. You can say yes, sir, I'm following, and if I am still clear, because you can find your teaching Kanshugamba Wake. So am I clear? Am I audible? Okay. So that is cell specialization. It's just a process where a cell undergoes chemical changes in order for it to perform a specific function. I hope we're clear. And why this is important is so that an organism can have different parts. Okay, it can have different parts of its body. If you look at a plant cell has got stems, it has got roots. Where are the roots coming from? They are as a result of cells, and they are cells which have been specialized to form parts of that plant. The leaves are made up of what? Cells. There are cells which were specialized to just form leaves. Are you following? Same with your body. The skin. There are cells which were specialized to only form the skin. There were cells which were specialized to only form bones. There were cells which were specialized to only form your heart. Okay, so cells undergo the process of cell specialization to form different parts of the body of an organism. Hope we're following. Now, there's another thing known as cell organization. Cell organization. This is just the arrangement of cells, how an organism is eventually formed. So we know that the cell is a basic functional unit of a living organism, meaning it is the starting point. All living organisms are made up of cells. And like I defined a cell in the previous life classes, we said that a cell, it is the basic functional unit of a living organism, right? It's more like a building block. The way blocks are, they come together, they are combined together to form an entire building, right? So meaning The basic unit of an entire building is a block, isn't it? That also applies to organisms. The basic unit of an organism are cells. So cells are the basic functional unit of a living organism. So now there is an arrangement, okay? There is an arrangement that you need to know, which is known as cell organization. How cells are arranged to eventually form an entire organism. So a group of specialized cells, meaning cells that have undergone chemical changes and they've now become specific to form one specific organ. Okay, so a group of specialized cells having the same shape or structure and function make up a tissue. So, group of cells, they form a tissue. Okay, a group of cells, they form a what? A tissue. Examples of tissues are epidermis, palisade tissue, spongy tissue, blood, epithelium, and bone tissue. So a group of cells, they form what? A tissue. Hope you're following. A group of tissues performing a specific function make up an organ. Examples of organs are roots, we've got stems, we've got leaves, we've got the liver, we've got the skin, the heart, the brain, the eyes, the ears, the kidneys, and the lungs. All these are organs and they are made up of tissues. So a group of tissues will form an organ. All right. Now, what tissues make up, let me read that again. What tissues make up each of these organs? So now there's a question here. They're asking us, what tissues make up each of these organs? For example, what tissues make up the leaves? What tissues make up the liver, the skin, and the like? You can do your own research, okay? And then you can let me know. What tissues make up each of these organs? What tissues make up the roots? What tissues make up the stems? Okay, you can do your own, simple research and let me know what you find. Okay, otherwise, a group of tissues make up an organ. Now, a group of organs performing a specific function make up a system. A group of organs performing a specific function make up a system. So if you're looking at a system, in that system, you're going to find organs. For example, let's look at transport system in animals. So in the transport system, you're going to find different organs, and each of these organs, they perform their own specific function. So in the transport system for animals like you and I, we've got the heart. The heart is an organ responsible for pumping blood. That is its function. We've got blood vessels in the transport system. That's another organ responsible for what? Carrying blood. We've got blood itself, which is also what? Considered to be an organ. Okay. So you find that different things, different organs, they are coming together, performing different specific functions to form a system. I can give another example of the endocrine system. In the endocrine system, you're going to find what? Glands in the endocrine system. And you're going to find blood. Glands, what do? They are responsible for secreting hormones. Blood, what does it do? It transports the hormones. So different systems are made up of different organs in each of those systems. So a group of organs performing a specific function, they'll make up a system. So your body has got systems, and in those systems, there are organs working in that system. Okay. Examples of system are vascular system, digestive system, excretory system. In the excretory system, you're going to see that we've got the skin, which is in the excretory system. We've got the lungs, we've got the kidney. We've got the liver. These are organs found in the excretory system. We've got the endocrine system, we've got the nervous system, where we have the brain, we've got the spinal cord, we've got nerves. These are organs found in the nervous system. We've got the skeletal system, where we find the muscles. We've got the respiratory system, okay? And we've got the reproductive system, where we find different organs forming up the reproductive system. So, what organs make up each of these systems? Again, you can do your simple research. When you look at the reproductive system, what are the organs in the reproductive system? Okay, we're going to talk about different organs found in the reproductive system. I won't even mention them. That's That's a topic for another time. Reproductive system. Otherwise, students even become excited when it comes to this topic. So do like a simple research and find out what organs are found in the reproductive system. What organs make up the respiratory system? What organs make up the skeletal system, the nervous system? Okay, find out. Otherwise, organs form up or make up, they form up a system. Then a group of systems performing a specific function make up an organism. So you and I, we are made up of systems. And if one of these systems is not working properly, then you are considered to be what? Sick. Okay. So for example, if the reproductive system is not working properly, you are considered to be sick. Otherwise, for you to be healthy, to be considered to be healthy, that simply means your system works perfectly. All the systems in your body are working perfectly, meaning your excretory system is working. You're able to go to the toilet. Your respiratory system is working, meaning you're able to generate energy. You know, the endocrine system is working. Your emotions are intact. The nervous system is working. Your brain is able to communicate with the rest of your body. Your skeletal system is working. You're able to locomote. You're able to move your hands and everything. So, you as an organism, you are made up of systems. A group of those systems, they form up you. Right now, as you are watching this live class, systems are working. Blood is being transported, meaning the transport system is doing what? It is working. Okay, you're able to hear me because the nervous system is what? It is working. Because when it comes to the nervous system, it is what helps you to know what is happening in the environment. You're able to see right now, isn't it? Muyangana paso. An image is being formed in your eyes, and the information of that image is being taken to the brain. Now, how is it taken to the brain? Because there's a system, which is the nervous system. Right now, you're able to feel that it's chilly because you've got the skin, which is giving you the ability to detect temperature. The nervous system is what? Working. If someone slaps you up, so you're going to find that there'll be a hormone released known as what? Insulin. What's that hormone? Adrenaline. This hormone, it will help you fight or run. Then the endocrine system is working. Okay, so you as an organism, you are made up of systems, and these systems, they help you survive. Keep that in mind. They help you survive. Imagine if you didn't have the endocrine system, meaning my emotions musimbe muribe, you know, because even when you're in love, there's a hormone which is secreted. When you receive that text, you have received, there's a hormone which is going to be secreted, you know. Digestive system muzadia, even angomwajana kudala, the food is being digested right now in your stomach. The digestive system is doing what? Working. So these systems, they help you survive. So basically, when it comes to cell organization, it just talks about how cells are organized to form an organism. So we're seeing that group of cells will form a tissue, and then a group of tissues will form organs. Then we're seeing that group of organs will form a system, and then we're seeing that group of systems will form what? An organism. So if you look at everything, what is the starting point? Cells. Cells are the starting point. That is why we are saying that cells are the basic functional unit of an organism, meaning they are the starting point. Ndiye tiambira tonse pano. They are the starting point. That is why cells are the basic functional unit of an organism, because everything starts from there. Cells will form up tissues. Tissues will form up organs. Organs will form up systems. Systems forms up you as an organism. Even a tree has got a system. We all have systems because they are there to help us survive. Now, there are two types of organisms, namely unicellular organisms, which are made up of only one cell, e.g., amoeba. We also have multicellular organisms, which are made up of more than one cell. Example, you and I, human beings. Okay. All right. So, yeah, this is the conclusion of the introduction of to biology. We looked at characteristics of living organisms. We looked at what's that? metabolic reactions, we looked at cells, and now we've looked at cell specialization as well as cell organization. But before I go, I have just some simple few questions that I want to ask to see if we are studying. Okay. So before I even ask someone to confirm if I am still audible and if I am still clear. Okay, Mary Rose has confirmed. Easton has confirmed. So, question number one. Question number one, my excellent students. Question number one. Define anabolic reactions. Anabolic reactions. What are anabolic reactions? 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 Anabolic reactions. Going to start with Mary Rose. Anabolic reactions. This is where an organism makes its own food. Okay, I think you have. Okay, it's in line, yes, because that's an example of an organism. I mean, of a process of a reaction. What you've defined is an example of a process which falls under anabolic reactions, but you haven't defined what anabolic reactions are. Yeah, I hope you get it. You've defined, so for example, this can be defined, this can be considered to be photosynthesis. Okay, because photosynthesis is a process where plants make their own food, right? And photosynthesis is an example of an anabolic reaction. So you've just given an example of an anabolic reaction and you haven't defined what anabolic reactions are. Yeah. Okay. So Easton, the release of energy from food substances inside a living cell in the presence of oxygen. Okay. So that one is an no, it's not anabolic reaction, it is aerobic respiration. Okay. So for me, I am asking you to define anabolic reaction. So we've got anabolic reactions as well as catabolic reactions, which are examples of metabolic reactions. Okay. So the one you've defined, this one, it is aerobic respiration. Okay. Aerobic respiration. I'm asking you to define anabolic reaction. Okay. Otherwise, good try, good try. Let's continue, my excellent students. Let's continue. Just have 3 questions and then we can call it a day. So Anna is saying it is the breaking down of food substances. That one is digestion. That one is digestion, and it is an example of a catabolic reaction. Okay. So let's try again. Let's try again, my students. Define anabolic reaction? What are anabolic reactions? So it's the first thing that we looked at after discussing the characteristics of living organisms. We looked at metabolic reactions. Okay, Tinta. Reaction that builds smaller molecules to bigger molecules. Excellent, excellent. That's the definition that I was looking for. So yeah, anabolic reactions, reactions that build smaller molecules to bigger. I'll define it in another way though. But before I do so, I want to give others a chance to define it as well. What are anabolic reactions? Otherwise, Tinta, you're correct. What are anabolic reactions? Miss Helen, it is the building up of small molecules. It's the building up of small molecules. Good try. Good try. Anabolism. Vena pavaenda Boniface pamphlet. Checking. Okay, we've got another one from Mary Mwansa. It involves the building of large, complex molecules from smaller, simpler, and require an impact of energy. Okay. Yeah. That's true. That's very true. That's correct as well. Okay, we've got another one from Valengu. It is the building up of proteins. Okay, so that's another example of protein. So you've given an example. You haven't defined anabolic reaction. You've just given an example of an anabolic reaction where we are seeing proteins being being synthesized, which is protein synthesis. Okay, so what you've said, it is protein synthesis, which is an example of an anabolic reaction. Maybe Rose, reactions that build smaller molecules into larger molecules. Okay. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's just the sentence construction that I'm looking at. Okay. So let me highlight the last comment and then I can give you my own. So these are reactions that build smaller molecules. Okay. Again, I'm looking at sentence construction. Yeah, I know what you're trying to say, but I'm looking at how you're communicating. Okay. I'm also focusing on that. So when it comes to anabolic reactions, these are reactions where small molecules react to form larger complex molecules. Okay, that's what an anabolic reaction is. Remember, I even said when you're remembering anabolic reaction, when you're trying to remember what the definition of an anabolic reaction, remember the building up of a house. Building up the house refers to anabolic reaction because when we're looking at the building up of a house, we're seeing that small blocks will be combined to form what? A building which is big, which is large and complex. So that should help you remember what an anabolic reaction is. So anabolic reactions, these are just reactions where small molecules react to form large complex molecules. And an example is photosynthesis, where we are seeing carbon dioxide and water reacting to form glucose, which is a complex molecule. What of catabolic reactions? I think that would be my last one. Catabolic reactions. What are catabolic reactions? What are catabolic reactions? Yeah, I hope you're commenting, you're typing right now. Catabolic reactions. Here is the hint. It's just the opposite of anabolic reaction. Okay, we've got a comment from Mary Rose. So, breaking down large organic molecules into smaller molecules, releasing the energy contained in the chemical bonds. Excellent, excellent. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Everything is correct here. Catabolic reactions, it's a type of reaction where we're seeing the breaking down of large organic molecules into smaller molecules, and in the process, energy is released. Okay. Then Miss Helen, breaking down of large food molecules into smaller molecules. Okay, that's also true. That's also true. Miss Matilda, anabolic reaction and metabolic reaction where large and complex molecules are synthesized from smaller and simpler molecules. That's true. That's for anabolic reaction. Yes, yeah, that's excellent. We're seeing that large and complex molecules are what? Are synthesized. They are formed from small and simple molecules. That's true for anabolic reaction. Easton, catabolic reaction, a reaction where large molecules are broken down to simpler molecules. Excellent. That is true. Anna, these are reactions where bigger molecules are broken down. I think that's what you meant there. Broken down into smaller molecules. Yes, that is true as well. So, yeah, those are the definitions of the two terms that I gave you, anabolic as well as catabolic. So make sure that you go through those notes as well, because I'm noticing that some of us we didn't know the definitions to these two terms. So ensure that you go through the notes, okay, and watch the videos as well. Okay, you've got up to Sunday to ensure that you understand this introduction, this hot topic. So make sure, my students, that you go through the notes. I sent a pamphlet in the group, and make sure that you watch the tutorial videos that have been sent so far. Okay, they are going to really help you. And make a timetable. Make a timetable, my students. I'll teach you how to make a study timetable this same week. So as we are going forward, all of us should have a study timetable. Otherwise, we're going to end here for today. If at all there are questions, let me know. I hope we've enjoyed the class. Have you enjoyed? Have you enjoyed? Have you enjoyed? How was the class? Was the class okay with you? Okay, so we can call it a day. Make sure that you submit the assignment tomorrow between 8 hours and 20 hours Eastern. An addition to my answer, a good example is digestion. Yeah, well, where we're seeing the breaking down of food into smaller ones. That's very true. That's very true, Easton. Excellent, excellent. All right, my excellent students, from me, Philip Kalma, the excellent tutor. Have a wonderful night, my excellent biology students. We are going to continue with the live classes next week, Monday, as we look at another topic. So ensure that you watch these videos for this week up to Sunday, so that next week we can now focus on another topic. An assignment has been sent in the group. Submit it tomorrow. Make sure that you do so. Submit it tomorrow, my excellent biology students. All right, have a good night, and don't forget to pray.